Welcome to Social Minutes with Mona. We are live here every Thursday, and today we're talking about how to increase your social media engagement. That is a biggie. I'll tell you what, that is one of the hardest things to do. In fact, it's kind of like pulling teeth. You do a post, you spend so much time putting that post together, creating the graphics, adding the text, creating the caption, posting it, whether that's doing it now or scheduling it for later, and then nothing happens. You try doing all different types of posts. You do carousel posts because you've heard that those are the things to do. You do reels, you do stories, you do live video, you do pre-recorded video, you try all the things and it's still crickets. Nothing is more frustrating than spending so much time creating content and then having nothing happen. So I thought I would take a few minutes today and just go over some content ideas with you about how to get engagement. Now, this is going to come as a surprise to you because it really came as a surprise to me, but I am a big fan of Mike Stelzner at Social Media Marketing World. I love to keep up with him because he is in the know and he's in touch with all the influencers and the gurus and the people that are making all of the rules to social media. And so he's always current and up to date and informed and very, very well educated in this industry. So I was watching a recent video of his, and he was talking about how the posts that are just a background of color or something going on in the, like you do it right from Facebook and you just use color as a background and then text. Now, we've been taught about don't do text only posts. You have to have pictures. You have to do video to grab attention. But guess what? These text with a colored background, whether that be just a statement or whether it's a question to get your audience involved and answering, those are really working well right now. So I want you to do an experiment, because I plan to as well, on creating some of those very easy to do posts that just have a colored background and then some words on the screen. Now, with any type of social media posting, of course, the biggest thing that you need to do, and honestly, if I'm being totally transparent, this is where I struggle as well, consistency. If you are not consistent, then it doesn't happen because people don't know to look for your content. And also the algorithms don't know to push out your content, no matter how good it is. If you're not posting on a consistent basis, you're not going to gain any headway. Now, a few times I have mentioned, oh my goodness, a few times, I should say many, many times, over and over and over again, I've talked about the importance of video. I've been talking about the importance of video for years now, before the pandemic ever even happened. When I was doing the Women Celebrating Entrepreneurship conferences, I would say this, the best advice that you'll ever get about doing video, if you're shy and you're afraid to go in front of a camera, you freeze up, and the best advice is 3 words, very simple: get over it. And that's the truth, because video is more popular now than it was, before the pandemic, and it just continues to increase, gaining popularity. Not everybody likes to do video. Not everybody likes to show their face in a video. Not everybody can talk once they know that they're live, or once they're standing in front of that camera. It's like, deers in the headlights. They freeze up and they're not sure what to do. And so there are different workarounds for video that you can use. You can use pictures of yourself or your staff, or even your mascot, your pets or what have you, to be the face of your business, and use those pictures and turn them into videos by animating them, which is really simple to do in Canva. But see, I've gotten off track now. Okay, video being so important, but we were talking about the text only with a colored background, text being really popular right now. So there's a couple of suggestions for you. Text only with questions, and of course, video, which I've been saying for years. And people don't listen sometimes. So if you're listening, please get over the fright factor and just put up a picture of your ideal client right at your camera and look at that picture and then just talk to your client. My client's name is Betty Boomer. So I can just put up Betty's picture or a little drawing of her and look at that camera and talk to Betty just like I would be talking to a client if I were doing a discovery session or in a one-to-one meeting with her face to face. Treat it exactly the same and just forget about that silly camera. Now, you want to make sure, if you're wanting to get engagement on your posts, that you are creating content that people want to engage with. Of course, that's first and foremost. So make sure that the content you're creating is relevant to your field. And then I'm going to say sprinkle in different things like behind the scenes, you at the office, your family photos occasionally if you're celebrating a milestone, an anniversary, a wedding, a birth of a baby, things like that, because people want to get to know you. You are the product that people buy. I got that. It's not original. It is from Steve Hopper from one of his great presentations. But you are the product that people buy. So people want to get to know you and like you. And then ultimately, once you gain their trust, that's when they start spending money with you. So the know, like, and trust factor, people getting to know you. So you sprinkle yourself on a personal level into your content so that people do get to know the real you. Be genuine, be authentic. If you make a mistake, oh, well, that shows humanity. And people like to know that you're human, that you are not a robot, or you're not just perfect and polished and, reading the script off of a teleprompter or, doing 25 takes to get the scene just right. Just do it. Just be yourself. If you make a mistake, just let it go off. What is that expression? Let it roll like water off a duck's back. You intended to make that mistake, or you just go by it or say, oops. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. They want to know the real you. Okay. So you do some business posts and you give them tips and tricks and hacks and advice. Educate them on the things that are in your wheelhouse, your expertise, the things that people come to you for specifically, and the things that you're trying to get people to come to you for specifically. So you want to make sure that you're providing great information. And like this video right here, I'm hoping will be no longer than about 15, 20 minutes max, because people's time is very valuable. So when you're creating content, keep it short and sweet and actionable so that people can get a quick win from that content that you're creating that makes them feel good. And then they start to look to you for advice, for more tips and more hacks and more education on ways that they can increase their visibility and increase their engagement, ultimately gaining more customers and, making a better retirement, a better living for their family. That's what it's all about, right? Okay, so you have regular posts, you have when I say regular posts, I'm talking about just a picture with maybe some text on it. You have carousel posts, which are multiple page posts where you can have, I think, up to 10 pages of posts and put them and then write a caption. So they go from slide to slide to slide. And on each slide, you're giving them just a little tidbit of information to make their life easier, to educate them, etc. You also can do stories. Stories are wildly popular. We know that now. And honestly, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. It's not too much to have 5 or 10 stories a day. The trick with stories is that you never want them to run out. You always want to have a story up within, that 24-hour frame time so that you stay front and center in front of the people that follow you. When you go to Instagram or Facebook, what's the first thing you see? Stories. When you go to the Facebook feed, you have the vertical blocks up at the top, stories. If you go to your Instagram, the first thing that you see are the little bubble heads of people and their stories. Now, why are they so popular? Because they disappear after 24 hours. Disclaimer, unless you save them as a highlight, okay? You can do that on Instagram, and then they live on your profile forever. But what happens is that it creates this FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO. And people rush to the stories because they don't know if it's hour number 23 and it's going to disappear in an hour, or if it's hour number 1 and they have 23 hours to get back to it. So stories are crazy popular. And if you do nothing else, then concentrate on getting stories added to your social media strategy. And in those stories, there are so many features that you can use. You can now post links to your website or links to an event that you have happening, links to really wherever you want to send them. And they're clickable links, so it'll take them there. You can add music to make it more entertaining, to provide a nice soft background, whatever. You can use trending music, etc. You can also add stickers and hashtags and all the things to make it interesting. And the stories, remember, are 15 seconds to 30 seconds, but you can do them a minute long, even longer. And they will just go from one 15-second to the next 15-second to the next 15-second to the next 15-second. So you can add different embellishments meaning hashtags, at mentions, stickers, links, what have you, on each different clip. So for example, in a 1-minute story, which is 4 15-second clips, you can have 4 different calls to action, 4 different hashtags, etc. So if you need more information on stories, I'd be happy to do a discovery session with you and talk to you about the importance of stories. Which brings me to the next vertical post, which is a reel. Man, oh man, these things are hot, hot, hot. And when people think of reels, the first thing they think of is like lip syncing and synchronized dancing, and those are crazy popular. But what about just doing a reel, maybe with a little background music, and just educating them, giving them some of those quick, actionable tips that they can implement right away. You can even just have a picture of you. You can do a voiceover to add your voice to the pictures. There's so many different possibilities. And you can use Canva, one of my very favorite apps in the whole world, and you can create stories and reels in Canva, as well as presentations and regular posts and on and on and on. Canva's getting better every day. So many new features. It's very exciting. Okay, back on track, because I'm at 12:13 and I want to make sure that I end here within the next 7 minutes. So we have reels, we have stories, we have posts that are just static posts, carousel posts that are multiple images. They go swiping through one by one. Let me see what else. Infographics. Infographics are another way to grab attention. An infographic you can make very easily also in Canva. And an infographic is longer and it has little pictures and then words, and you're just like taking them through a complex bunch of information with a picture and a little snippet of information one at a time. It makes it easy to understand, and it's a great way to break down and simplify complicated material. So infographics, another thing. Also, to increase engagement, you want to create conversations. So when you're creating those posts with colored backgrounds, with text, ask questions to have people engage with you. If you're using stories and reels, use those stickers where you can create a poll, ask a question, use the popularity slider, things that are going to prompt people to engage with you. Sometimes you can well, all the time. Let me say this. You want to appeal to people's emotions. We are emotional creatures, and that's just how we respond. So if you're talking about a subject that somebody's passionate about, they want to share their opinion. So using polls and questions are excellent ways to increase your engagement. Okay, we've talked about reels and stories and posts and carousels and infographics. We've talked about video. Now let's readdress video for just 1 second. I know I'm kind of backtracking, but there's live video, there's short form video, which are the 15-second up to a minute, up to really, you can go up to 3 minutes on some platforms, but short form video, that's the really popular one right now, like stories and reels. You can also do pre-recorded video. How about educating on your specialty, your topic, by doing a recording in Zoom and saving it and then posting it as a pre-recorded video? Now, the pre-recorded videos are not going to get as much reach as your short form videos at the present time in February of 2022, but at least you're doing video. At least you're educating and informing your clients. So it's a win-win. No matter what type of video you use, it's going to be a win for you. Now, lastly, because I'm at 12:16, I want to end this in 4 minutes. Make sure that you're mixing up your content. Sometimes you're educating. Sometimes you're inspiring with inspirational quotes, motivational quotes. Sometimes you're making them laugh, you're entertaining them. People love to be entertained. And in some cases, with some of the ways that you do your posting, you can educate them and entertain them at the same time with your quirky personality and your little mannerisms and things like that. So yes, edutain them is what my coach taught me. So you educate them, you give them tips and tricks and hacks in short, bite-sized chunks that they can implement. You make them laugh, you make them smile. Sometimes you might hit on a topic that's really near and dear to someone's heart. And remember, we're emotional creatures. So those emotional posts are going to get, a response because you're targeting someone's emotions. Sometimes those emotions might be sad, You don't want to stick around the sad or the controversial, sometimes a little controversial, but not as a rule. And I don't know, I think you want to kind of stay away from religion. I'm not saying I'm a Christian and I'm proud to be a Christian and people know that I'm a Christian, but I don't in every one of my posts, shove the Bible in somebody's face. I want them to, know that I'm a Christian by my mannerisms, by the way I act, by the way that I treat people, by my life. That is my testimony. So religion, politics, and too many controversial things are things that you want to kind of stay away from, just kind of sprinkle them in here and there from time to time. Okay, we are at 12:18. I'm about to wrap it up. Mix up your content. Do different types of content, and make sure that you also utilize direct message and messenger. So messenger is Facebook's way to privately engage with people. Direct messenger or direct message is Instagram's way to privately engage. And trust me when I tell you that those interactions, because it's engagement, move the needle on the algorithm. So don't forget about private messages. In fact, my coach taught me way back when that if somebody just likes a post, and we all know likes really don't count for much, why don't you strike up a conversation? Send them a private message or a direct message and say, thank you for liking my post. Tell me, what is it that you liked about it? And try to encourage that conversation. Get the ball rolling. So there you have it. I'm at 12:19. I did it. I made this no longer than 20 minutes, which is hard for me because I love to talk. I love to teach. I love to educate. And I love to help entrepreneurs up their game with social media. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do this every Thursday at noon. I would love to hear from you to know what types of topics would be of benefit to you. I'm here for you to help you. So let me know. Send me a direct message or a private message or give me a call, send me an email, but contact me and let me know what you would like to learn about that would be helpful. And I will mention you on the show and put it out there to share with my audience. We might even do a collaboration. You never know. Thank you for tuning in to Social Minutes with Mona. Until next time, I will see you later. And God bless.